I'm Bobby with RealNex. I've been with the company since its inception and previously with the CRM, and have been branching out into doing the webinars on the marketplace as well. So this is somewhat new for me as well. So thank you for joining me on this exciting voyage. So today we're going to be, before I move on, as I have a tendency to forget to share my screen, I'll go ahead and do that now. So we're going to be talking about the deal room, which is a place where you can share documents pertaining to a specific deal with your clients and set access levels. So there's going to be two ways that we can actually create a deal. But first off, let's open up the deal room. So I've got the deal room open up on this tab here, and you can kind of see what I've got going on here. I've got a few different deals, and that's going to be accessed by clicking Deal Room on the left-hand panel. If you see it like this, it's the icon of the two hands shaking, but you can always click on the hamburger at the top left and click Deal Room to get back here. And so this is going to show you your existing deals. Creating deals is actually not done directly from the deal room, but is done either from an investment analysis or from a project in your CRM. So this view allows you to see the different deals that you're working on, set the administrative information, as well as have access to the links where you can send these links out to customers so they can register for the deal room to access the documents. So the first step we're going to go ahead and do is create the deal room from both of those methods. First off, we're going to do it from the investment analysis platform. So I'll go ahead and open that up here. And so this is done by first opening up the investment that you want to add a deal room for. So I've created an investment here for Indy Office Park, an industrial property. And so once you're in an investment analysis, up on the top you have services, and there's an option there for deal room. When you click on that, it is going to bring up this window where you have first off the deal name. You can change this, but it's by default just going to take the investment analysis name and copy it in there. So I'm just going to keep it at Indy Office Park, and you can change this later on as well. So you click Create Deal Room, and the next step is going to be giving you an option for confidentiality agreements. So these are PDF documents that are either a broker or an investor confidentiality agreement or non-disclosure agreement that you can upload that requires them to check and sign off on prior to being able to access any of the information. And that's, if you notice, there were two different links when we're in the deal room, one with CA and one that's just the deal room. So generally speaking, we don't really know of that many good reasons not to require someone signing that. So 99% of the time, the link that's shared is the one that requires that. So in order to add one of your, add a PDF document, you just click on anywhere on that bar there. And I've got a CA folder here, and I'll just go ahead and select Broker CA. See. Yeah, sometimes my browser doesn't do it on the first time. There we go. And so now we've uploaded the broker CA. We can do the same thing. I'm guessing it's going to go twice this time as well. But let's just, yeah. And so we've got both the broker and investment confidentiality agreements uploaded. And you can click on the little eyeball here to view that document prior to setting this up. So once you've viewed it, you can go ahead and just close that tab. And at that point, our deal room is created with the confidentiality agreements uploaded. And now we can go to either administration, view the registration link, log into the deal room as a client, or view the public document center. So when we click administration, that is going to open up the deal room just like on the other tab here, but it's going to automatically open into Indy Office Park. So now from here, we have the new deal room we've created. It'll automatically say investment at the top as was created from the investment analysis. And it'll copy the project name, the city, state, and zip code from the investment. And then this is where you can edit and modify the deal name from here. And then status is either going to be active or suspended. This is basically how you turn off deal rooms rather than delete them, as ideally you don't necessarily want to delete the information, but just make it inaccessible to anybody but yourself. And that's what suspended ultimately does. Now I'm going to go ahead and we'll start talking about the links here in a moment and what that ends up doing for your clients. But we'll go ahead and go the other route on how to create a deal room from the actual CRM. So in the RealNex CRM Online, when you click on projects and open one of your projects, so I'm going to go ahead and do King's Jewelry in this case, you'll see at the top right on the far right tab rather, a deal room link there. From here you can either create a link to an existing deal room if you've already created it through the investment analysis, or create a new link, basically create a new deal room. So generally speaking, I would usually suggest actually creating it from the investment analysis platform. And the reason for that is you can create it from the investment analysis, but you can't link an investment to an existing deal room, whereas you can link a project to an existing deal room. Not sure that that's going to be the case forever, but as of right now, generally speaking, create it from an investment. Although if you have a non-investment deal room that you'd like to create, you can definitely do that directly from the CRM as well. So I'm going to go ahead and just create new link, and it should now show up. So once you've hit create new link, that created the deal room in the background. It's not immediately obvious that it did so, but then you can click link to existing deal room and then use the drop down and select the deal room that was just created. And so now we can click on the go to deal room link, and that will once again open up that deal room directly in the deal room section of the marketplace of RealNex. Also, if you notice, there's a section down here that will show you participants, logon ID, and so on. Let's go ahead and actually link one of these to an existing deal room that does have this information. And let's just link it to this one. Let me just make sure this is one. Of course, what do I have that actually has documents? There we go. So it's actually Washington Avenue Apartments. And so this will show you the different participants in the deal directly from the CRM here, rather than having to go to the deal room directly. And so that's kind of indicative of what we'll be adding here in the future as well, are a lot of integration pieces like that to go back and forth between the different components of the RealNex platform. So continuing on, go back to the Indie Office part just to work from the same one here. So next up we have two different links. Now, again, generally speaking, I don't really have a necessarily valid reason to use the regular deal room unless there's, absolutely don't want them to have to sign the certificate of, not certificate, confidentiality agreement. I'm never going to not say certificate for C on that, apparently. And so when you click on that link, this is what the client is going to see when they click on that link. So up at the top, it's going to have your branded company logo, as well as your contact information at the top, and then have a secure login page. So this is where they can log in using a login and password that either you've created or they've registered to do it. Now, if they're going to this link for the first time, they'll have this button at the bottom to register to enter the deal room. And when they click that, it will bring up a sign-up form where they have to enter their email address, a password, their name, phone number, and company, so you can capture all of that information. So I'm going to go ahead and just and I'll select investor in this case and hit next. So once they filled out that information, I'm going to go ahead and close this stuff, they'll see a copy of that confidentiality agreement PDF document that you uploaded back in one of the earlier steps. So on the left side, they'll just need to check the checkbox to accept the terms and conditions, which are laid out in the CA here, and hit execute. And that only needs to be done one time for each individual. So if that same user goes and logs in with the password they just created, they won't have to continually keep signing said certificate, or see, I told you, confidentiality agreement. Now, this does not give you like a printed or signed copy, so it generally is still a good idea to get a hard copy of a signed confidentiality agreement or NDA. But that's only going to give them access to the first level of documents, which we'll go into here now. So we've got our deal rooms, and I'm going to go ahead and work now from that Washington Avenue Apartments deal. So on the left side here, first off, you have the deals. And then when you click participants, you'll see the participants for the deal that you were clicked on. So for example, if I go back to King's Jewelry, we have no participants. Let's see. Let me just find one that actually does. There we go. So when you click participants, you'll see the people that have both signed up or that you've added. So you can manually add and effectively invite a participant through here as well. So when you click to add a participant, you'll see these basic details that are going to be very similar to the details that were entered in when that customer or client rather signed up through that link. So from here we can go and we'll come back to the security in a second here. Status, good enough, perfect. And so you can click send invitation, which will give them a link to click on to access the deal room, and it will show their email and password that you created for them. I'm just going to go ahead and hit save here though. And so now when someone signs up through that link that you sent out, so you could, for example, put that link onto your company website or into any email blasts that you send out, and when they sign up and enter their email address, create a password and everything, you're going to get an email letting you know that someone just signed the CA. And so you can then come in here and you will see that user on your deal participants for that deal. And that's now we're going to talk about the security levels. So everybody when they sign up initially is going to be set to the security level of basic. And the security level itself is tied between the participants and the documents. So every document on a deal also has a security level. So as long as a participant has that security level or higher, they are able to view those documents. So from here you can go through and see which documents you have and set the security level for them. Now when someone comes in and they haven't ever, they've signed up but you haven't ever dealt with the contact, they'll always be set to basic. So only documents that are shared with the security level of basic are going to be able to be seen by that person. And so when uploading new documents, which you do from the Upload New Documents pane on the left-hand side here, I'm going to go ahead and bring this over here. Oh, yeah, that worked out very well. And bring up a folder here. So when you have the Add New Documents, you can simply drag and drop to select all of the documents that you want to add, and then drag and drop into this section here that says Drag Files Here. And so what we can do is all of those are going to be uploaded as basic, and then now we can do two more as 5th level. So I'm just going to, for funsies, do this. And then we can hit Start Upload, and it will upload all of those documents that we just dragged and dropped into the RealNex Marketplace deal room. My internet just started going rather slow as my computer seemed a little bit glitchy there for a second. Just give it a second here. I don't think I've seen 5.7 megabytes take that long in a while. Perfect. So now those are there, and we can go over back to Manage Documents, and scroll down to where we just added those. So if we click on this, we see that this one is 5th level for all of those. So if you need to upload to multiple levels, you'll need to actually go to Upload New Documents, drag and drop, and start the upload, and then do another set of files for each security level that you want. Let me just check my notes here too. So in addition to being able to access all of this directly from your web browser through the investment analysis and deal room under the Market Edge platform, you can also view all of this directly from the RealNex mobile app as well. So I've got my phone screen here sharing. I'll go ahead and just maximize this and make it a little easier to see. And so when you open up the RealNex core app on either your Android phone or iPhone or tablet, you'll see down towards the bottom of the list of different available tables a section for deal rooms. So when we click on that, we'll see the different deals that we have available. And actually, let's go to calendar and then let's reopen the deal room. That way we can see the... Here, let me actually just log out and log back in. Go ahead and pull this over here as... There we go. So I probably could have scrolled down earlier. It just didn't seem to be scrolling. But we can see the new deals that we've put in here, the King's Jewelry and the Indy Office Park. And from any of these, you can click on participant to see who the participants are on that deal room. So this is going to match up to the same thing on the web. It'll show you who the participant is and when the last time they logged in was. When you click on one of these users, you'll see which documents they viewed and when they viewed said documents. So it'll also show any times that they've logged in, so you can kind of get a good idea of, who's seen what documents and when. And then you can also click on documents to see it from that point of view. So see each individual document, how many times that document has been viewed, and what level of security that document is uploaded for. But again, I'm having some weird issues with internet where it's not really going as fast as I'd like. Let's try another one. All right, I think my phone's just not going to play nice on the internet side right now. And so that's kind of a similar view to on the online version, the deal tracker. So this is where you can go on the deal to see who's logged in, so you can see who the participants are. And when you click on that participant, you'll see when they've logged in, what documents they viewed, how many times they viewed it, and last time they viewed it, and if they've signed off on any documents. So that's the final thing, back to the manage documents. So when you click on one of the documents on the left side, there's a checkbox for require sign-off, as well as a sign-off date if you want to manually enter that. So what that will do is when a participant on the deal views the deal, or views that document, it'll have a pop-out on the left side similar to the CA that they signed to, that's quiet out, oh. Interesting, that shouldn't have showed up in like 3 different reasons. So it'll pull out on the left side where they just check a box, and when they do that, it'll automatically fill in the sign-off date for that participant on the deal. So you'll see all of the document sign-ups looking like this. All right, so let's see. So if you do have any questions, now is definitely a good time. I mean, the deal room really isn't the most complicated portion, but it does give you a quick and easy way to, and a secure way to share documents with everybody that's on a given deal, as well as you can have, like I said, have that link, the embed the CA registration link onto any marketing packages that you send out, and every time someone goes to that link and wants to view the documents for that deal, you'll be able to capture their information, their email address, first name, last name, phone number, and company name, so that that will be able to be used later on. Now, this is actually exactly what I was going to just touch on. Keith had just asked, do the deal room participants get added to the CRM? Not as of yet, although that is absolutely something that we are working towards, and you can kind of see exactly why that would be beneficial right here. The reason it doesn't as of yet is we don't want it to automatically create duplicates, so it's a little bit complicated to code, but that is something that we are absolutely working towards. Don't have a ETA quite yet on that, as it kind of relies on a big piece of our product roadmap coming to fruition here in the next some period of time. I apologize. I haven't looked at the roadmap in a little while. So yeah, any other questions? Now is definitely a good time. But so yeah, right as of right now, it just adds them to the deal room itself, as well as into the investment analysis platform in the client manager. So if you go to managers and client manager, you'll see everybody that's ever signed on for any of the the deals that you've added from here. So you see that we actually just created Fred Rex a moment ago, automatically already shows him in here. And that's something that we are working towards, to have it in the CRM as well as having it available from the other platforms. So that was all the questions that we had for right now. And I guess we all had a nice short one today. I'm sure the next ones that we'll be having are definitely longer, as I think I only did one of the little shorties here. But if you if you have any questions about anything that we went over, or anything pertaining to the deal room, or really anything regarding RealNex, so a few ways to get in touch with us. There's the knowledge base on the left side. Always highly recommend taking a look here, as we've been adding new documents as well as all of the webinars to our knowledge base here. So if you just go on here and want to see the recorded webinars, you can click recorded webinars there, and it'll have a link to the most recent webinars directly from here. You can also email us at, well, it's at support@realnex.com, but all of the information is available directly on our website, and so that's also got our phone number. So if you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to us. And yeah, Sarah, if you have anything else to add, or that I forgot here.
No, thanks for wrapping that up for us, Bobby. As Bobby mentioned, visit our webinar page often and sign up, and feel free to email me at info@realnex.com if you have any suggestions for future webinars. And that's it. We're signing off. Thanks, everyone.